DEX Sabo debuted on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise on the 21st of January 2019. However, originally debuting on the Korean version of the game. The community was overwhelmed with excitement with yet another character arrival prior to the Japanese version. This character was one of the most powerful Sugo-Fest exclusive characters on the release, with a captain that provided boosts to 3 separate classes in the game, along with a special that simply applied a slot effect boost and a chain lock, wrapped together in a nice bundle with a fantastic crewmate effect that also granted more matching slots. Introducing Straw Hat Luffy's ally, Sabo. In this series, we'll be traveling back in time to experience some of the older Sugo-Fest exclusive characters in their prime, aiming to show just what it was like to use these characters on their debut. I hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's enter the Legends of OPTC. Thank you very much for checking out yet another episode of the Legends of OPTC, and today we're checking out a very interesting character, and the fact that we had Tazora in the previous episode, releasing in the middle of December 2018, moving into 2019. The month of January for Global is always a bit of a weird one because it's right before the global anniversary that hits in February, so it is always interesting to see what they do right before that, and in this particular month, we essentially had like a month of nothing. There was essentially no new legend release, except for this one character that came out right near the end of the month, which is this DEX Sabo character. The interesting thing about this Sabo is that he actually originally debuted on the Korean version of the game first, and then after debuting on the Korean version, he debuted on Global, and then later on debuted on the Japanese version during a treasure map, I think. But here we are with Sabo, a very intriguing character, and during this time period, this was considered to be probably one of the best characters in the game, like easily within the top 10 of best legends in the game at this character's release point. Very, very good character. So let's go ahead and break him down. He is a DEX fighter shooter, and his captain ability would boost the chances of landing matching slots for fighter shooter free spirit, and then boost the attack of fighter shooter and free spirit by 3 times with a 1.25 times health boost, and if you defeat an enemy, you increase your attack boost with a small margin, and it will stack up to 5 times. So the way that it basically works is, as long as you kill something every single turn, 5 turns in a row, you're going to keep maintaining a 4.25 times attack boost. So it starts at 3x, and then after every defeat of an enemy, or a turn that you defeated an enemy, you'll get a slight increase, and then on that 5th turn, the 4.25 times boost. But of course, there is a downside here in that if you fail to defeat an enemy during a turn, all of these stacks that you get to increase your multiplier will be deleted, and you go back to that 3 times multiplier, and you have to restack all of these buffs. So there is a bit of a downside to it, but as long as you consistently kill something, you're getting a 4.25 attack boost to 3 separate classes with a very substantial, well, not said substantial health boost, but a good health boost, and then also slightly boost the chances of, slots being matching. A very good captain ability during this time point, but of course, there is the issue of, you make sure you have to stall correctly. You have to stall correctly, you have to optimize your team to get through that content, but if you can, 4.25 was ridiculous. And then, of course, with his crewmate abilities, tandem and recovery slots beneficial to fighter shooter free spirit, a phenomenal crewmate to use on any of those types of teams. And then he's got a very powerful special as well, locking the chain at 3x for 1 turn, and then boost the orb effects, the slot effect boosts of fighter shooter free spirit by 2.25 for 1 turn. So a very simple special, a simple captain, but nonetheless, a very good set of abilities. 14 turn cooldown with expansion down to 12 is obviously very good. And then, of course, this character did receive a super evolution, I believe it was like somewhat last year, and the super evolution was interesting in that it changed a lot of his abilities, where he inflicted burn and he was an attack booster instead, and he did a chain boundary effect, something like that, one times to the chain multiplier. Yeah, he was a chain booster and an attack booster, so he stacked with Versus Ace, who was an orb booster and a chain boundary effect. So it's interesting in the way that they kind of designed the character with the 6+ in mind with another unit, but but the base unit on release was very powerful and used in a lot of content for sure. But the only thing is he was very difficult to get a hold of, as people were holding their rainbow gems for the anniversary that was coming very soon. So not too many people actually got their hands on this Sabo on release. But let's go ahead and see what kind of content we're going to be using in him today. Alright, so we've got 3 different pieces of content. We've got Clash Garp and Sengoku, Clash Magellan and Hannibal, and Clash Capone. So we've got like relatively difficult clashes, I would say. I say all 3 of these are probably not like the most hardest content in the game. Like I think Clash Capone is definitely the most difficult one here. Garp and Sengoku can definitely be a bit troublesome, and Magellan and Hannibal is probably the easiest one here. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see what we get today. It's been a while since I've actually taken on a Clash, I think. I can't remember when the last time we took on a Clash, but let's see what it is. It's gonna be Capone. Okay, Capone, as I said, is gonna be like the hardest one. Yeah, I was just thinking that we actually did take on a Clash relatively recently. I think it was with Nami. The Nami episode, we took on Clash Zor, and that's what I was trying to think of just there. But Clash Capone for Sabo, I think that's going to be pretty hard. But the thing about it is Clash Capone is renowned for being very difficult because of the amount of attack down that is inflicted. But the reason why I chose it is because during this time period, shooters had access to a limited rare recruit that helped him out a lot, which was Burundi World, and he can actually remove like 10 turns of attack down straight up. It might even be, I think he actually completely gets rid of attack down now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so he actually is going to be very useful in this quest. So I'm excited to actually jump into the team and hopefully try and build something good for Clash Capone. A very difficult clash, but I think we can do it for sure. In game now with my man Sabo, the Revolutionary Army's Chief of Staff. He stood in the way of Jesus Burgess to prevent him from attacking Luffy and proclaimed he would always have Luffy's back. He inherited Ace's ability Fire Fist along with the Flame Fruit's powers. Of course, this is Sabo based in Dressrosa, of course, and the artwork is actually pretty cool, and I honestly like this artwork better than his 6+, all things considered. I think artwork-wise, it does look better. But here we are in game where my man, he's got a 100 attack and HP, cotton candy, limit broken. Of course, we're not going to go ahead and waste tablets to rainbow him, but nonetheless, he is good to go. Now, in terms of the team comp that we're using in today's video versus Clash Capone, this is what we got cooking. So as I mentioned a little earlier, I think Burundi World is going to be a big asset to the team. Removing attack down is going to be very key. And the thing with Sabo is he does increase the chances of matching slots appearing, so I think that's actually going to be quite key as well. But we've also got Eneru because we need to get around paralysis on one of the stage. I believe he gets around 5 turns of paralysis, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is. Okay, it needs to be 5 turns, so that's good. Frankie's going to be a very good attack booster to the team. Bobbin's going to be nice for just generating more slots. Just reducing some of the bad luck that could happen with matching slots. And then, of course, we've got Sabo. So I think that everything said and done, we should be good. And because we are running Strength, Dex, and Quick characters, this ship makes perfect sense because it gives us 1.55 attack, more health, and cooldown reduction. So it's a pretty good ship to use for the team. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and run this content. And here we go, the Clash Bedge Big Father. This guy is kind of annoying. He has a lot of different, not like a lot of gimmicks, but the gimmicks that he has is just annoying. And one big thing about this particular content that is quite annoying is Battle 3. So we need to ensure that we do as much efficient stalling as we can before we reach Battle 3, because we're going to have to deal with that. Ideally, the way that I'm planning this team is we're going to be using Sabo Special on Battle 3. We're going to have Eneru for Battle 4, and then the rest for the final stage. That's the idea. But remember, we need to get some efficient stalling in. Remember with Sabo's captain ability is that you need to continuously kill something to raise that attack power. So that is something that we are going to be trying to do. So first of all, let's just go ahead and kill off some of these mob characters that are going to do some damage to us. Health is going to be like an additional asset here. I'm not really too concerned about our HP because as long as we don't die, you know, obviously we don't die, that's best case scenario, but I don't think having a lot of HP is going to matter, so that should be fine. I guess cooldowns could kind of screw us up on the final stage, because Capone on the final stage does have mobs, so that's going to be annoying too. So we'll go ahead and just kill once again. Remember, continuously killing something, stacking up that attack power is going to be very, very good for us. And then we'll go ahead and, I think we will be okay in terms of taking one additional turn here. That'll be fine. But then from this point onwards, we pretty much want to be killing something every single turn. So we'll go ahead and kill the turtle. Then we'll go ahead and kill this guy after the fact. And I don't know if Sabo's going to be ready. It's going to be pretty close. It's going to be pretty close. Battle 2. So we've got the seahorse and we've got some mobs. So we want to kill the seahorse and the guy on the 1-turn cooldown. So we'll do that. Cool beans. And then we'll kill one of these guys. We're doing pretty well right now because Sabo looks like he's going to be ready when we reach the final, or at least battle 3. So that's fine. Technically, you know what we should do? Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure the way that it works on battle 3, we might take 1 turn just to get rid of one of the mobs because there's 6 characters on battle 3. Anyways, we'll talk about it when we get to it. But yeah, this is a pretty complex raid actually. I think from here we can pretty much move on. That should be okay. Okay, that didn't kill. I was hoping that was going to kill, but that's fine. We'll just try and conserve some more matching slots. And that looks pretty good to me, so we'll go ahead and move on. So now we move on to battle 3. So this is where things get real, bro. This is where things get real. So we've got these really annoying mobs here on this stage, and essentially what happens is, if you do not kill all of them on the first turn, or any turn, as long as one of them is still alive, they're going to summon back 5 mob characters again. And that's the thing about it, is there is initially 6 characters, and the one with the big health bar in the middle, if we knock out that one does not revive, but the surrounding mobs will keep reviving so long as there is at least one of them alive. So ideally, we get rid of at least one of them here, and then we burst on the second turn. That's the idea here. So we'll go ahead and kill. Okay, we're going to take a bit of damage. Hopefully at least get one more matching slot. That would be perfect. We did. Okay, so this is where we're going to do our burst. So we're going to go ahead and activate Sabo special, which gives us a 3 times chain lock, and it gives us a 2.25 times slot effect boost for our whole crew. Unfortunately, I don't think the special animation is all that great, to be honest. It's kind of just mid, it's fine, nothing special. But the effect that it gives you is very good. So we have all of these matching slots. Now we want to make sure that we can actually kill them. So I think we're going to go... We're going to just start with the 2 Sabos and just go from there. And this should be an easy kill, I think. Okay. Good. Very good. They're all dead. Beautiful. That worked out absolutely perfectly. And remember, we have kept killing stuff in the previous turn. So all of our stacks are currently still available, which is fantastic. Health is a little low, which is a bit concerning, but we're going to go ahead and use the Eneru special, which is going to remove the paralysis. Unfortunately, we don't have a driven captain, which would provide a chain boost as well, which would be wicked, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. I don't believe this guy has a lot of HP, so I think with just his attack, which is our base attack, we should be fine. I will consume that recovery slot just to be a little bit more cautious, but we should be pretty much good to go. Here we go. Yep, perfect. Probably should have conserved a slot on Bobbin. Hopefully Bobbin lands a matching slot. That would be really, really good. Bobbin did not get a matching slot. That actually could hurt us a little bit, actually. That's not good at all. Actually, you know, it's not too bad because we do have the special ability of Frankie, which can shuffle away our slots. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, we do have another chance to roll the dice here. So let's go ahead and launch the special of Bobbin, which is going to remove the enemy's defensive effects, the Rainbow Shield and the increased defense. And it's good because Bobbin is a free spirit character, so he is still boosted by Sabo special, which is good. So remove those defensive effects. And then we can go ahead and target one of these guys on a 1-turn cooldown. We'll target this guy with the Burundi World because he does do 500,000 fixed damage and then removes the attack down completely because we had 15 turns of attack down. So Bobbin removed 5 of it, so that's okay. But the fact that Burundi World exists is really, really good to help us remove that attack down, which is good. And now we want to use the special ability of Frankie, and Frankie does do a health cut and he does randomly shuffle slots that are not matching. So I believe when we use his special, if we don't get a slot on Bobbin, we could just reset the game and hopefully land a slot. That's probably what we will do here. But the big thing is that it provides us with an attack boost, and that's the most key component here because Sabo does provide orb boost and a chain lock by himself, so getting the attack boost is obviously very, very important. Alright, so hopefully get a slot on Bobbin. Oh, we did. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, that works out very, very well. And now we'll go ahead and use the special ability of Sabo once again for the 3 times chain lock and the 2.25 times slot effect boost. So that actually worked out really well. You know, considering Eneru doesn't have a matching slot, that's really not that bad. I think we'll be okay. And because we did use the Burundi World Special to KO one of those mobs, we only have one guy in the back that's going to hit us, because we are going to target all of our damage on Capone on this turn to make sure that he goes down, and then we can just focus on the mob characters in the following turn. So it actually works out pretty well. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and do some damage towards Capone. Let's get it. Perfect. Okay, so Capone is out of here. 16 million damage. And now we have to kill these guys. So I think we should be fine. Just with doing some normal attacks. These guys aren't really too strong. And with that, that's it. Capone is down. We win. That's awesome. So relatively difficult clash, but Sabo held his own and we're able to get through it, which is pretty impressive all things considered. And we're running kind of like a pseudo shooter team, you know? So it's kind of weird to see a shooter team even back in these days still kind of holding up, which is kind of impressive, man. All right. That was pretty good. And with that, that is going to wrap up yet another episode of The Legends of OPTC. Looking forward though into next week's episode. I did mention in this video that, you know, throughout the month of January and early 2019, there was essentially no content. However, when we were heading into the end of January, the early February, there was actually a lot going on. Whitebeard and Marco are the next character that we're going to be covering, and on release was widely considered to be the best character in the game. So I'm very, very excited to jump into that one in next week's episode. But I really hope you guys have enjoyed this one. And if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.